Hello, everyone. Welcome to GA's Tea Time. We discuss all things General Hospital. If you haven't already, please hit the bell notification. The like and subscribe really helps the channel. And I want to send a special thank you for everybody that has already subscribed. So, guys, let's get our teacups, let's get our snacks, and let's get ready to discuss our favorite characters. General Hospital Daily Recap, Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. It's because we had a bunch of folks in this episode. We had some Britt, Jordan, Sonny, Rick, Justine. So let's see what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. Sonny and Justine were kissing, and then Justine pulled away from Sonny and kind of was just like, no, and she slapped him in the face, which is crazy. And she basically was just like, this will never happen again. And she got in her car and drove off. Justine was at that Axe Storm place, and she had called Jordan to come down to join her, I guess, for drinks and stuff like that. When Jordan walked in, Jordan saw how aggressive Justine was throwing these axes, and then, asking her, "Is everything okay?" The conversation quickly led off to Justine's like, I compromised myself, but Jordan kind of figured out it had something to do with Sonny. But in the end of all of it, Jordan was like, Sonny's not a bad person. He has good qualities, but how far is Justine going to be able to put her career on the line for Sonny? So it gave Justine something to think about. Sonny called Rick over, and Rick was on lawyer mode times 1,000. He came in, he was like, "What happened? What happened? Let's get ahead of this." And Sonny's just like, "Calm down. I just called you over to talk." So Sonny is giving Rick the rundown about what happened between him and Justine and how they kissed and everything like that. And then Rick is like, "Well, because she claimed that you forced yourself on her," and Sonny is like, "I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't force myself on her." He was like, "Well, he's just throwing these different scenarios out, like maybe Justine could claim he did something." And Sonny was like, "No, she's not like that. She's not that type of person. She's not going to claim that I did something to her." So Rick is just like, look, he was telling Sonny, be careful. She is the ADA. She can, her ultimate goal might be just to throw you in jail. So don't believe everything that Justine is saying. Sonny did look a little upset, but he did. I think Sonny is thinking about, Rick can be right. So maybe Sonny's thinking maybe Justine was playing him, but he is on the fence because he knows that Sonny knows that him and Justine have spent time together outside that Rick doesn't know about. But overall, Rick was just telling Sonny to be careful and don't just fall for anything that Justine is putting out there. Over at Wyndemere, Lucas was trying to get out the door because he's on call and the hospital called him and said he had to leave. Here comes Sidwell, Pascal, and Marco. They come running out. Sidwell was like, "Oh, I thought you were staying for dessert." And Pascal got this little stupid tray in his hand and he's looking at Lucas all stank. And Marco's looking like fearful because he knows that his father is not right in the head. So anyway, Lucas is like, "No, I'm on call. I gotta go." Right. So he did kind of say to Pascal, "I thought you would notice you have my schedule on. Usually you have my schedule in sight. You know when I come and go." Pascal didn't say much. But anyway, Lucas leaves. Marco follows, and Lucas did say to Marco, he said, "You know what? If I don't wind up waking up tomorrow, just check my room for rat poisoning because he know Pascal probably poisoned him." Which is crazy because Lucas needs to leave that house. If you're feeling like somebody might try to kill you, why are you still living there? I don't understand. Inside, Sidwell is talking to Pascal, and he's kind of telling Pascal, cut it out. He knows he doesn't like Lucas, but he doesn't want Lucas to feel uncomfortable in there because if Lucas tries to leave or catches on to anything, that he's going to blame Pascal. So he's like, Pascal, stop it. So Pascal is like, no, this man is going to mess up all our plans, and basically they need to get rid of him. Marco is talking to Sewell, and he's kind of like trying to put out there that maybe Lucas, it's not a good idea for Lucas to live in this house. Hello, you know what? Marco finally said what I've been saying for forever. He was like, there's so many people coming in and out of this house that Lucas probably should go stay someplace else. This is why I never understood why Marco asked this guy to stay here. Anyway, now he's trying to backtrack. So his father's on some, no, he can't leave. But what doesn't make any sense? Marco's argument makes 1,000% truth. I don't know why Sidwell is asking for this man to stay because it makes no sense. If he's over in the mainland or whatever, over on regular over there at the hotel or something like that, Marco could come and go. Lucas is not going to see who's coming in and out of this place. So for Sidwell just to be like, no, he got to stay, makes no sense. What does he think Marco's going to do? Marco's not leaving. He thinks that Marco's going to leave and go over there and stay with. No, he'd be right there, and then y'all don't have to worry about Lucas overhearing stuff and things like that, even though we know it's too late. Lucas knows everything. But Sidwell was trying to get Marco to see how much Lucas knows. So Marco's holding it close to the vest. So I guess Marco's is not lying about trying to keep Lucas safe. I don't think he's going to be able to be successful doing that. But we'll see where this goes. I think Marco and Lucas need to get out of that place, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Lucas found Britt, and Lucas ran up to her, and he was kind of like, I know everything. And at first, Britt didn't believe him, but then when she believed him, she was like, I don't know why Marco told you all that. She was like, Sidwell is a dangerous person. And then she was telling him how he killed somebody in front of her. Lucas now looks really worried, like he looks scared. But he did tell Britt, you know what, Marco and him are going to try to get out, and he's going to help her get out. So he started asking her about the medication. So I guess Lucas is going to go try to see if he can find out where they're housing Britt's medication, so that he could get a out of it, so that they can see if they can reverse it and get her medication, so she's not underneath Sidwell's thumb. But we all know, how is this going to go? Come on. This is probably when Lucas is going to get caught, get hurt. Pascal is looking for any reason to hurt him. So I guess this is going to be the time that happens. Jason and Brennan was talking, and Brennan finally came clean with Jason. So he gave him almost all the information about how Britt is involved, how Cullen is, he didn't say Cullen was working with Sidwell. He just says, I didn't trust Cullen. He doesn't want Cullen knowing anything about Jocelyn. He thinks that Jocelyn's in danger. So Jason has some more to the puzzle as far as who Cullum is. Jason didn't tell Brennan much, because before he can say anything, and I don't know if Jason would have told him anything, Cullen walked in. So Cullum is asking Jason questions, and I don't even understand why Cullum called Jason to this office, because everybody who knows Jason knows that Jason ain't going to answer no questions for you. So he's asking him, what does he know about the Five Poppies? So Jason was kind of like, I don't know nothing about that. All I know is I saw my friend Britt. I know she needed some help. I went and got her back. So he's still kind of grilling Jason a little bit. And Jason's like, what? That's all I know. That's it. He cut that conversation short, and that was it. So Cullum just kind of looked at him. He knows he's not getting much information out of Jason. He just left that where that's at. Lulu was talking to Nathan. Here we go again. Everybody just assumes that Maxie is going to take Nathan back, but whatever. She's like to Nathan, well, thank you for coming and talk to me face to face. I know you and Maxie are going to be good together. Nathan was like, no, Maxie went back and she chose Spinelli. That's who she wants to be with. That's who she's in love with. And Lulu is really looking surprised, because she's just like, what? She chose Spinelli? Years have passed. It's like she haven't been with this man in so long. But anyway, Nathan was like, yeah, she chose Spinelli. And then Lulu had a good question. She said to Nathan, she said, to you, this is like yesterday. Like for Maxie, years have passed. She has gotten with other people. She's been with Spinelli for some time. But for you, it's like yesterday. How do you feel about that? Her picking Spinelli. Nathan, it's kind of weird, because if he's been going for 7 years and he's saying he don't remember anything, he should be having the same feelings for Maxie that he did when he was taken away 7 years ago. He doesn't seem like he missed Maxie at all. To me, it didn't seem like that. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. And guys, if you haven't, please like and subscribe. But yeah, so he's just like, he doesn't seem concerned about Maxie in that way. He didn't seem like he was utterly in love with her. But anyway, all right. So Lulu and him are going back and forth, and Nathan is kind of like, this could work out in our favor. Now it could be me and you. So Lulu is still on the fence, because she's like, no, Maxie's my friend. I don't think it'd be right. And she was going to try to hold Nathan's hand, but she pulled her hand back. But my thing is, Lulu, as a woman, needs to go talk to Maxie and put it out there and see what Maxie says. Now, Maxie goes, no, forget that. Then, all right, maybe you don't want to break friend code. But you haven't even asked. She needs to go ask, go talk to her. But we'll see what happens with this later on. Brooklyn and Chase. Okay, listen. Okay. So Brooklyn was breaking on Chase. She was like, "What did you do?" Right? So tell me what you did. Chase with this nonsense. He was like, "Well, he didn't put the key on Michael's ring. He just had a hunch. He had this feeling." What feeling you had? Anyway, so he went and say he took the key over. He figured out that the key was on his ring, and he was able to check Drew's house, and he realized Michael had the key. He said the only thing that he did bad was that he went and he made it because he broke the chain of custody. So he put it in somebody's ear, which was Nathan, that they should check Michael's keys. Once they did that, that's how they got the ball in motion. Brooklyn broke on him. She was like, "What? Why would you do that?" So Chase and himself is like, "I want to see justice served." Okay, anyway, what justice? Again, there was how many people that might have wanted to kill Drew? You have not looked at a other person. There's nobody else. He's only looked at Michael. So he's just Brooklyn is like, you just want to believe this. She thinks it's because of revenge. And I don't think it's because of revenge. Brooklyn needs to look at this a little bit closer. Maybe he wants a little bit of revenge on Michael because Michael took Willow 100,000 years ago from him. But I think that he wants Willow. On top of that, Brooklyn made up a good point. She was like, "I could see if Willow was in jail." She was like, "Willow is out free, got her kids. Why are you still doing this?" I'm like, and Chase has no real answer. He's just sitting there looking stupid. So Brooklyn gave him an ultimatum. She said, "Listen, it's either you stop with this, or if you're going to continue with this, we're not going forward with this adoption." And Chase was just like dumbfounded. But Brooklyn, she need to look at that whole picture. I think this man wants that woman. I think he is, his obsession with finding out that Michael did this is crazy. It doesn't make sense. There's more to it than he just wants revenge. It's something else going on. And I think as the story progresses, I think Brooklyn is going to see that he is just more and more obsessed with this. And I don't think he's going to stop. He may tell Brooklyn that he's going to stop, but I'm sure he's going to keep on with this. So guys, that was the end of the episode. If you haven't already, hit the bell notification. I upload a daily recap every day. So you don't want to miss those. They are fun. We talk about everything that happened on the episode. And I also put some extra stuff in there. So we do some quizzes and some polls and some who's leaving. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So you don't want to miss any of that. And if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. And I want to thank you for joining us at GA's Tea Time. See you next time. Bye.